Dear friends, we are continuing our discussion of postmodernism. In our previous introductory class, we talked about modernism and what led to modernism and some basic characteristics of modernism. And in our class today, we shall talk something about postmodernism. Postmodernism means after modernism, or it is also called post-1945, after the Second World War, post-1945 or after 1945. Some consider postmodern period as after 1960s or after the mid-1960s. But generally, post-1945 or the post-World War II is considered as the postmodern period. What are some of the historical changes that happened during the postmodern times? The first thing that we can remember is the end of the Second World War. The outcome of the Second World War is that it did not bring about any stability, the desired stability it did not bring about, but it led to further fragmentation. The Second World War did not end all wars. The sense of fragmentation developed into a sense of absurdity, to a sense of existential futility. So the end of the Second World War. The second thing that we can remember is it was the atomic age. The dropping of the nuclear bombs in 1945 in Nagasaki and Hiroshima. We all read about it. The thought that the world will end at any moment filled the minds of people. The end of the world rested on the fingertips of a few world leaders. The power of atomic bomb, nuclear bomb. The threat of the nuclear bomb hangs over the world like the sword of Damocles. So that is the second thing, the atomic age. The third thing that we can remember is that it was the end of the British influence. The supremacy of the British Empire, the great mighty British Empire, the empire that qualified itself as the mighty empire on which the sun never sets, this empire waned. Britain was shadowed by other economies like Russia and the United States of America. This time also witnessed the decline of the empires built by the European countries all over the world, the decline of the colonies. The colonies were lost with the rise of movements for independence. The after effect of colonization was that the European countries became the centers of multi-ethnicities. So the European countries became the centers of multi-ethnicities. People from different colonized centers, from different areas of the world, started to live in those countries. The next thing that we can remember in the postmodern period is there was the Cold War between Russia, which was socialist, and the entire Europe that was considered as capitalist. The fifth point that we can remember is the presence of the Iron Curtain. The presence of the Iron Curtain. There was a Cold War between the communist and the non-communist countries of the world. So these are some of the historical changes that we can keep in our mind as we begin our discussion of postmodernism. Now we shall discuss some of the social cultural changes that happened after 1945. The 1950s, they were a decade of austerity. The post-war years were years of austerity. The financial crisis brought about by the Second World War and the loss of colonial power made the government to take stringent and austere measures towards progress. And signs of progress would return by the end of the 1950s, by the end of the decade. The 1960s, the boom years of 1960s it is called. After the years of austerity, which is 1950s, the 1960s, the boom years of 1960s. The age of the youth culture was emerging with a set of values that was frowned upon by the previous generations. The youth movement. There was a revolution in fashion, revolution in music, revolution in literature and arts. The sudden development of mass communication helped to create and sustain this youth culture. 1960s, the decade of the youth. The 1970s, there were great deal of social unrest and anxiety in the 1970s. It was a decade of disillusionment. The idealistic belief of millions of young people that they could change the world crumbled into cynicism and bitterness. Now this age, which followed the youth movement of the 60s, also witnessed the rising of a wave of terrorism. Now when we come to the 1980s, we see a new kind of materialism, new materialism. The new materialism with incredible advances in communication and information technologies, the advances in the field of medicine and transport. It was an era of new materialism, the 1980s. And when we come to the 1990s, we see once again recession and preoccupation. There was growing polarities and growing fragmentation. There was growth of other media. Literature is just one media. Till then, literature was the prominent media. Now, literature is just one media of articulation among many others. So, my dear students, we are learning the topic postmodernism. The term postmodern refers to what follows modern or after modern. The term postmodern describes the attitudes and creative production after the Second World War. So that is the term postmodern. Then we talked about postmodern time period. Now postmodernism is a broad movement that developed in the mid to late 20th century across philosophy, across arts, architecture and criticism. So post 1945, some would consider as post 1960s. We have already said that. Now we see a departure taking place from modernism. The term postmodern has been more generally applied to describe a historical era that was said to follow after modernity and the tendencies of this era and the tendencies of modernity. So postmodern and the postmodern era. Now what is postmodernism? Well, how can we define postmodernism? It is a general and wide-ranging term, a socio-cultural and literary theory which is applied to literature, art, philosophy, architecture, fiction, culture and literary criticism. Now it is an overarching term which we cannot have a clear definition for postmodernism. It is an overarching term that is used for a whole range of concepts. Postmodernism is largely a reaction to the assumed certainty of scientific or objective knowledge or the efforts to explain reality. Postmodernism is characterized by a striking radical skepticism toward all aspects of Western culture. We cannot have a clear definition, exact definition of postmodernism. Because postmodernism is used to discuss different things ranging from architecture to historical theory, literature, philosophy, etc., people often distinguish between several forms of postmodernism. So there is no clear exact definition of postmodernism. Now people use several forms of definition, several forms of postmodernism, and that suggests that there are, and many of them suggest that there are three forms of postmodernism. There are three forms of postmodernism. First one, what we can say is postmodernity is understood as a historical period from the 1945 to the present. So one way of looking at it is postmodernity is a historical period from the 1945 to the present. The second thing is about the theoretical postmodernism. The theoretical postmodernism, which encompasses the theories developed by thinkers like Roland Barthes, Jacques Derrida, Michel Foucault and others. The third category is the cultural postmodernism, and the cultural postmodernism includes film, literature, visual arts, etc. that feature postmodernism elements. So postmodern literature is, in this sense, part of cultural postmodernism. It is quite difficult to classify postmodernist works as it frequently combines aspects of diverse genres. It is difficult to classify according to traditional schemes of classification. Postmodernism also can be analyzed from the feminist and post-colonial angles. Thus, we cannot pinpoint the principles of modernism with finality because there is a lot of plurality in the very constitution of this particular theory, postmodernism. So we cannot pinpoint the principles of postmodernism with a finality. In general, postmodernism had the following characteristics. First one, the postmodernism or the postmodern defied all definitions and all classifications. So all definitions and classifications were defied in postmodernism. It celebrated diversity, eclecticism and parody in all forms of art. What is eclecticism? It is a conceptual approach that does not hold rigidity to a single paradigm or rigidity to a set of assumptions, but instead draws upon multiple theories. So it draws upon not a single theory, multiple theories, styles or ideas to gain complementary insight into a particular subject, or applies different theories in particular cases. Eclecticism. That is another characteristic of postmodernism. When we consider the literature in English, there is no more a single literature, but there are literatures in English. There are various literatures that are emerging in English during postmodernism. There is no single literature anymore. Another thing we can talk about in postmodernism is that literature becomes transnational. It became an international phenomena. The subject matter was the human conditions. Transnational, international phenomena. Postmodernism abandons the search for totality altogether. It does not suggest any comprehensive worldview. We cannot have a complete, comprehensive, objective worldview. There is total disillusionment with the Western cultural perceptions, and there is rethinking of history, rethinking of aesthetics, rethinking of pedagogy in literature, rethinking of visual arts and architecture. So there is no comprehensive worldview. There is rethinking in every aspect in postmodernism. My dear students, we have had a short lecture on postmodernism. We talked about what is the postmodern period. We also talked about the historical changes that happened during the postmodern period. We also talked about the socio-cultural changes that took place during the postmodern period, and we tried to define what is postmodernism. We said there is no clear-cut definition of postmodernism. It is an overarching term, and we also tried to discuss some of the important characteristics of postmodernism and postmodern literature. As you listen to these lectures, please take down the important points of our discussion, and please supplement all that I discuss with your personal reading. There are a lot of materials available to you. I wish all of you have a happy learning. Thank you for listening to me. Have a nice time.